Hello and welcome back to episode 10 of Unknown to World Known, Club 8. We're back with AC Milan once again, and we are still top of the league. So since you were last with us, we had a great run through January and then a little bit of a slip up that we have recovered from. So we beat Hellas Verona following the last episode 1-0 with a very late goal from George Me. We then beat Benevento also 1-0. We then beat Genoa in the Coppa Italia first round 2-0 with 2 goals from Langlois in quite a rotated team. We then faced Regina, who we scored first, went 1-0 up. They got an equaliser, and then we just decided to thrash them for having the nerve to equalise and beat them 7-1. We then beat Vicenza 3-1. We dropped points against Atalanta with a 1-1 draw in a game that we dominated. We then got thrashed by Roma 3-0 in the quarter-final of the Coppa Italia, which we followed up with getting thrashed 3-0 by Brescia. I don't know what happened in that game, but we bounced back. And against Roma, we beat them 5-0. So we really did, make a statement there. We're back today to play Sampdoria and Man City. In the league, we still have an 8-point gap, because if we look at Inter Milan's fixtures, they also lost 1 and drew 1. In fact, they've lost 2. So I don't really know how we've only got an 8-point gap. Because we had 8 points. I don't know how that's happened. Oh, that one was in the cup, in a Super Cup. So they've drew 1 and lost 1. They did most recently beat Juventus, which a very late goal won it for them. Would have been nice if they dropped 2 points there. But let's get into the game against Sampdoria. Before we do that, if you are enjoying the series, please do hit a like down below. Comment, let me know what you're enjoying, what you're not enjoying. Subscribe if you're enjoying the content on the channel. Go and check out my other series, St Albans FC, Take to the Skies. It's been a very fun start. We're only about 27 episodes in now, so there's a lot for you to watch there, but not so much that you can't catch up. Check it out. Let's get into the game. And the lineup for today, we've got Donnarumma in goal, Savadori, Marcon, Conju and Conchao as the back four. George Me and Magnani are the holding midfielders, with Pagliaro on the right, Henrique through the middle, Delogu on the left, and Cacciatore as the lone striker. We have now been able to register Galval as a player for us. I don't know why we could only do it in January. It is weird. And in terms of opposition players, the player that really stands out was Raul Moro. He's had a good start, good season for them, considering he's 34. His average rating 7.09, 4 goals, 3 assists. You can see he's doing well, slightly behind on last season's numbers, but still clearly a very good player when you look at his average ratings. So he is a man to keep an eye on from that right hand side. Hopefully, with him being a right winger, he's not going to be offering much in the way of pace down that side, so maybe we can exploit that. If we can overload the right side, he probably won't be able to keep up with Pagliaro and Savadori, I would hope. But early on, we've got a throw in just inside the 20-minute mark. Pagliaro exchanged the ball with Henrique and was unlucky there, but Marcon heads it down to George Me, who finds Delogu on the left. He gets a cross in, and it's just in front of Pagliaro and intercepted. Cialdini breaking away Conju with a great tackle, but then it's worked back to them. Veneziani shoots, and Donnarumma is just watching as that flies past him into the top corner. And not a great start for us there. It was a little bit easy for him to get round Savadori. And the shot, I mean, that's close enough for Donnarumma to do something about. if we're being honest. But he chooses not to, and we find ourselves annoyingly 1-0 down. We've got a free kick here with Mark on just after the half-hour mark. Henrique to Magnani and George looking over the top for Delogu, heads back into Cashier Toure, and he finishes it, makes it 1-1. A little bit close to the keeper. You could argue both goalkeepers could have done better for the goals, but a good finish nevertheless. One thing I will say, Delogu has, since I brought Christensen in, Delogu and Christensen have really been vying for that left wing slot. They've both put in some great performances out there, to the point that it is a struggle to know which one is the better player to put out there. Although, so far, in that first half, we've kind of scored the only chance we've had. Let's try being a bit more expressive and see if we can create a few more chances like that. But we're not creating big chances at the moment. Donnarumma plays it out to Marcon, and he finds Magnani, who goes wide to Pagliaro, forward to Henrique, back to Savadori, who starts trying to bring it forward, goes round his man, but then he's got to try and beat him again. Gets a cross in, Cashier Toure's under it, but not able to beat the keeper in the air. He goes long, and Marcon's missed his header, and they've gone round Savadori, and Donnarumma this time does make the save. But there was definitely a chance there for Sampdoria, and they do look dangerous when they play those long balls over the top. We're going to make a change now. I think what we're going to do is actually try Delogu as a shadow striker perhaps, and just see if he can strike in the middle, because Henrique not having the best of games. We've got a free kick. Morrow is going to send in and plays it short, and it's hit the bar. And it's headed back to Morrow, and then George stops the second cross. And now Delogu with a very poor attempt to play the ball through. Marcon collects it. He goes inside to George to Magnani. Forward to Cashier Toure and Pagliaro. Ball through behind for Cashier Toure, and that's a great save from the keeper. We have got a corner though. Christensen plays it short to Delogu, who goes back to Magnani, back to Delogu. Magnani crosses from deep, and Cashier Toure with the header, but it was a little bit too at the keeper there. And now I think we're going to make another change. We're going to send Kellers on for George who's on that booking. We've got a throw in here. Savadori finds Delogu, back to Savadori, who goes round his man, crosses it. Christensen at the far post makes it 2-1. And just as George is going to come off for Kellers for the last 20 minutes or so. Kellers was injured throughout most of January, so we're just going to start phasing him back into the team now. I believe this is actually his first appearance since his injury. Didn't want to start him today because I want to try and have him ready for the Man City game. Of course, first leg is going to be very important in that game, and we need to make sure we're still in it going into the second leg. Back to Donnarumma here. He plays it out to Congiu, who goes out to Conchiao. Kellers and Conchiao exchange the ball forward to Delogu, and he runs into space on the right. Magnani to Pagliaro, and he's got a chance for a cross here. Sends it in. Cashier Toure with a great chance, and he's headed wide. I think we're actually going to bring him off for Langlois, just to, ensure that he's ready for the game against City. We should be able to see this game out, and if we don't, I don't think it's really going to be down to Cashier Toure. Marcon and Congiu exchange the ball there. Kellers already booked on his return. Back to Conchiao, and it's back to Conju, who goes forward to Christensen. And that's a poor pass from Christensen. And Savadori with a great interception there. BI finds Morrow. Conchial needs to get back and cover this. And ball goes in. Oh, that's bouncing around in the box, and Conchial clears it away. That was a bit of messy. Christensen with a corner now, crosses it in. Conju has it headed away from him. And a chance for Sampdoria to break, and Conchial, very impressive once again, and another long ball over the top to Langlois, and he finishes the game. It's 3-1 to AC Milan, and we are now comfortable. I think that means we are going 11 points top of the league as it stands. Of course, I'll let you know what happens in the Inter Milan game at the start of the City game. But a good result for us there as we continue to pick up points. And now, 25 games, 63 points. 13 games to go. An 8-point gap. We're looking good for the title. We need to keep it up, of course. But let's go and see how we get on in the Champions League first of all. And the lineup for the game against Manchester City. We bring Aaron in the number 10. Henrique goes out to the right. Georges and Kellers are now the midfield partnership, although Delogu and Cacciatore do hold their places, as do the back five. So, we're going to get straight into this. Of course, the danger man for Manchester City, you already know who it is. It's Austin Piesse, who goal scoring is a little bit down compared to what it was under me at England, but he's still obviously a very clear danger, and we need to be very cautious of him on that right hand side. I do wonder why they play him on the right hand side. Also, big news, Inter Milan only managed to draw with Lazio. An 89th minute equaliser for Lazio cost them, which means we are now 10 points clear at the top of the table. Delogu plays it into Cacciatore, and the clearance comes as far as Marcon, who plays it back to Conju, back to Kellers, and he goes out to Conju, back to Conchial. Of course, Man City, they won the league last year, so they are a very dangerous team. I am a little bit hesitant about what's going to happen at the end of the season if we do win the league, because it doesn't look like the United job will be available at the end of the season, which is where I'd ideally go back to England. So, let me know what you think. Should I maybe go one more year in Italy, see if we can retain the title, should we win it? And then look at going back to England. Should we go back to England with another team? Obviously, it needs to be one of the big teams, but we could perhaps go back to Chelsea or Tottenham. I said one of the big teams and then said Tottenham. That's ironic. Cacciatore breaking away here and going all the way around the defence. Gets in close and into the side net in a great bit of play from Cacciatore, and it's unfortunate not to finish it with a goal. It's been a very cagey affair here. Kellers plays it to Christensen, who's tackled, but Kellers recovers it. Conchial back to Conju, and we're just passing it around their men. Cacciatore coming deep for the ball. Aaron sends it to Georges. Henrique back to Georges. He's got Savadori on the right with loads of space. Cross comes in, and it goes all the way through to Christensen, who puts us 1-0 up. And he's barely been on the pitch. He's only just come on, and the space Henrique has left here, that's all thanks to this fella, Suklom, not tracking back. It goes all the way through, and Christensen at the far post puts us 1-0 up. And we're going to make another change here, sending Leto on for Kellers, I think. And we've now got 15 minutes to go. If we can take a 1-0 win away to the Etihad. That is a great result, to be honest. We're going to actually send Aaron off for Galval, with the idea being seeing out this 1-0 win. Aaron plays it back to Savadori. He goes back to Marcon and back to Savadori. We're exchanging the ball very nicely here, taking our time. Leto to Conju. He goes out to Christensen, who's tackled but recovers the ball. Tackled again. Leto plays it through for Conchiao, who's got space. And it's a poor attempt to find somebody. PSA's now moved up front. Jensen receives the ball off him. And Georges with a fantastic tackle, but it doesn't actually win the ball. And an important block by one of the defenders there. We've now dropped back to the 5 at the back. Let's praise them with just seconds to go. And we have seen out a 1-0 win. If only the Champions League was one-legged ties, what a result that would be. But still, no away goal, very importantly. And we take a lead, which is massive. I didn't think we'd have that going into the game. Let's go and have a look at where we're going to come back. So we'll come back for the games against Manchester City and Fiorentina. So we can come and see how we're doing after these 3 games. And then if we can get to the quarter-final of the Champions League. In the league, as I say, Inter Milan dropping those 2 points to Lazio means we are now 10 points clear with 13 games to go. We've only lost twice this season. It was 2 teams that we wouldn't really expect it to be. Inter Milan have lost 4 times. Again, only really Atalanta maybe. Brescia, I don't know what they're doing up here, because if you look at the season preview, they're predicted 14th. They're having a great season, to be fair to them. Also, on the season preview, we haven't got a single player in there. I think you need to review that, media, because Juventus are well off the pace. If you have enjoyed that, please do leave a like. Comment your prediction for that second leg at the Etihad Stadium. Let me know how you think it's going to go. And let me know what you think we should do if we do win the league. Half tempted to end the series if we can't get back to one of the big teams this year. If we win the league and can't get back to England, we might just call it a day. Let me know what you think we should do. And subscribe if you are enjoying the series. Thank you very much for watching.